Hi there. I want to talk a little bit about like the general atmosphere around plant medicine work. I notice myself on social media. There's a lot of people promoting the medicine work. Then there's a lot of blame and shame stories around the dangers of the medicine or the danger of the facilitators, and it's really hyping up this fear, this field of fear around the plant medicines. And also in many countries, the medicines like ayahuasca are illegal. People are getting into all kinds of difficulties because they are following this work. And there are people who are charmed and enchanted by the magical energies that swirl around these medicines. And there's promises of transformation and healing, and people go with lots of hopes and desires for better, and challenges show up, difficulties show up, and then people blame the medicine or blame the facilitators or blame some participants or blame some negative entities. And I notice that, yeah, for sensitive people, for those of us who maybe sometimes have a challenge or difficulty discerning between what is ours and what is not, we might get sucked into these stories and these narratives and these belief systems and get pretty confused, and they might like trigger us as well because they challenge our personal sense of safety around our relationship with the plant medicines. And it really is an invitation. I think this whole situation that we're in is inviting us to turn more and more inwards and to find our own center and our own way of relating to the things that are important to us in our lives. And so I just feel kind of the need to speak about this, because not to defend the medicine, even though I do have an interest in defending the medicine, because the medicine has been important for me. It has brought me a lot of good things, and brought me many beautiful, magical experiences. It has also brought me many difficult challenges, and it could be easy to blame whatever is around for those difficult, uncomfortable situations. But the reality and the truth is that those challenges are the opportunities through which I have grown and gained new perspectives and new insights, and been pushed into a corner where I've had, or into a hole where I've had to climb out of, and find new ways of doing things. And it really builds resilience, it builds strength. And if you look around in the natural world, especially if you go to visit the rainforest, nature and life is really hard. It's never easy, and we have to kind of like fight a battle to survive and use what we can to make our way forward. And that's a part of our biology, our human nature. And I think that kind of shows up in the way we are operating in the world, how we operate with the plant medicines as well. For me, the plant medicines, it's very easy, like when we go to the plant medicine, from a space of desperation and wanting the plant medicine to fix us, or we kind of give away our power and our authority to the plant medicine, to the facilitators, and to the whatever, the spirit realms, to heal us. I don't want to feel uncomfortable, or I don't want to suffer anymore. Uh, and in that process, we kind of just like surrender and lose ourselves. And that is a place where opportunistic energies and spirits will very likely take advantage of us. And that is something that happens. I'm not going to deny that. It's I've been in those kinds of experiences and situations myself. But the only way to like change and change the situation and get out of it is to learn to learn the lesson and to reframe the story and start to take responsibility for to acknowledge, like, where have I been weak, where have I not been discerning, where have I been avoidant, and then to start from that new awareness, to start making new kinds of choices, to start becoming more interested and curious about what are my needs, what do I want, and why, and how do I express what I need and what I want in a respectful way, so that I can start to receive also respect and the kind of, relationships that I want to be in. So it's the same with the medicine, like, um how d what kind of relationship are you creating with the medicine, or do you want to create with the medicine? Do you want it to be one which has like a power dynamic where you're just there to receive whatever it's going to show you, or are you going there as an equal with a willingness to be really radically honest and open to see even the difficult things that you don't want to see, and to uh, yeah, then take that lesson, that homework, and take it home, because I understand that the plant medicines, the work with them, it's kind of like going to school. We're in the school of nature. We're working with nature's beings, nature's spirits. We are part of nature. We are animals with more developed maybe consciousness and awareness. But when you go to school, you have to concentrate, you have to pay attention, you have to listen. There might be lots of disturbing energies there trying to distract you from the teachings. And who are you going to pay attention to? The ones who are there creating chaos and distraction, or are you going to pay attention to the messages, the teachings that are there for you, that you are wanting to learn? It's the same with the internet, with conversations with Chat GPT. Like, there's all kinds of stuff coming from there. Like, what are you going to like pay attention to? What is the thing that you need now? So developing this kind of sense of discernment is like really key, and a sense of sovereignty as well. That and that requires you know releasing a lot of like conditioned beliefs that are like programmed in our body and our nervous system. And as I understand, well, one really helpful tool, there's a lot of uh, research and science out there about like how our nervous system works, and how the connection between our mind and body and emotions and the nervous system, the energetic field. So there's many ways that we can use all that information in a way that supports us, that helps us to become more uh, able to support ourselves as we reprogram and repattern our ways of relating, excuse me, to ourselves, to our lives, to our um, in our relationships. So this is how I see that we can work with the medicines in a much more safe way and a responsible way. And I'm going to be sometime soon opening up an online space where we can discuss these topics deeper, and through lived experience and shared like resonance, start to tap in and like start to cultivate these new ways of relating, so that we can be in a empowered space, in sovereignty, as we meet the plant medicines, rather than going to them and being a victim of 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 whatever is happening in the area. Learn and receive the teachings, so that we can then learn to apply them in our day-to-day life. Because unless we then do the homework, which is the integration part, then nothing will really change. And that can often be, where some people then come in and start to blame the medicine and the other people for creating their problems, because they're not actually maybe receiving those teachings and taking responsibility for anchoring the change in their own lives. But there's no judgment in that either, because I know personally I'm a really stubborn, hard-willed person, and I've really had to learn the hard way as well, sometimes taking years and years of like um, yeah, going in circles around the same stuff before finally being able to step out of it. But that's also part of the learning journey, the so that we can like really, yeah, understand how this whole thing works, and at least from our own perspective, and so that we can then come and share our story and support others as they navigate their journey of transformation. And we're not all supposed to be the same. We're not all supposed to, you know, become medicine facilitators. For some people, it's like, one time is enough, or two times, or three times, or once every 10 years, just to go receive what they are seeking and needing. And there's no judgment towards that either. We don't all have to become, like enlightened beings that understand the reality of this universe. Um, you know, we need people who are there doing the practical, grounded work here to keep our society and our world alive. So let's not judge also the people who are maybe not so keen to take our sides, about how this plant medicine work should happen. And understand that this is a collective journey and we all play our own little parts in it. And yeah, the medicines are our allies if we choose to work with them, but not everyone has to. It's, the important thing is finding what is supportive for us ourselves, so that we can kind of find our own place in ourselves, to recognize and reconnect with our own worth, our own value, and start to share that in the world, because we have something unique to share, and something unique to offer, and a way of expressing ourselves that will fulfill us and bring us satisfaction. And there's no career or role that is better or worse or less important than another. So have a good one.